for Phil?
We can, but before we start that, I also forgot to. We're live anyway. That kind of. Do you have your phone?
Yes.
Okay, I'll just text it to you real quick, and then you can answer me.
Okay. No.
No.
Nope.
Okay.
That's a good question, but no.
I forgot to ask it.
Thank you. I just had a Red Bull. There's no reason for me to be yawning. Anyway, let's go.
All right. So, welcome to Take It or Leave It. I'm your host, Meredith Masony. It doesn't
It's not
matter.
even close, though.
Yeah. We should come up with a new one.
We should come up with something because, okay. I'm your host, Tiffany Jenkins. This podcast will discuss all things marriage, motherhood, and everything in between. Please remember we're not professionals at anything you may actually need, so any advice we give you, you can take
or leave because it might be crap. On today's episode of Take It or Leave It, we're going to talk about a visit we had yesterday, a friendly visit that we had yesterday, which was wonderful, and a couple of odds and ends. If we have time, we might talk about UFOs and space creatures because that just happened again. I really feel like they are entering our airspace more frequently.
I agree.
Yeah,
Hopefully
and,
we all become best friends. I think the biggest thing that we're going to talk about is a video that I made this week that some of you may be waiting to hear me say words about it on the podcast. So that's what we are going to also do. Why is the Gordon Ramsay picture behind you falling down? I don't appreciate that.
The cat jumped on the couch and it leaned forward. So I have to get it hung is the problem.
That was a custom made art piece for
and I
you.
love it. And it's right here. And he and I lock eyes multiple times a day. So it's good.
Okay, so let's open the show with a mom fail. It's really early in the morning and I've already gotten into an argument with my kid and made her cry. So
what was going on with Chloe?
She woke up really early and I don't want to go into detail because I don't want to embarrass her, but I gave her a specific thing to do. I said, go back in your room, please. Do something, and then you can come back in here. But it was something that needed to be done. It was a time-sensitive thing. And she just couldn't wrap her brain around the instructions. And then she became a teenager and got mad at me. And it just escalated so quickly. And it's 7 a.m. and I'm just waking up. And she does this thing where she just argues about everything. She argues about me saying she's arguing. Like it's so weird. Anyway, so I told her she was grounded, but I've never grounded her. And I don't even know what that means, really. I just said it and she is asleep again.
Oh, she fell back. So she was super overtired.
Yeah, same though. And I was just like a crazy angry bear poking its head out from a cave to roar and then like pulling the blankets back up and then pulling them down. So when she wakes up, I'm going to apologize. People are saying, Tiffany, you don't need to say anything else. Thank you. I appreciate it. I may not. We'll see. They meant about the video, not about Chloe.
Yeah, but we did get to see each other yesterday. We did not get to go live together. We utilized every minute. That's what I'll say.
Here's what I'll say. Meredith and her husband are angels sent from above. Meredith and Dave showed up at my house yesterday with garbage bags. Meredith in her crop top took probably 10 bags of laundry down the stairs and all the way to a laundromat and washed them and folded them and put them away, while her husband sat down with me and helped me get my finances and bank stuff in order because I am overwhelmed and don't know how to do that. We spent hours going through all of my unopened mail, organizing it, sorting it. He put, for those of you who are watching the stream, he put Post-it notes on the mail with instructions telling me what to do so that I have to do as little thinking as possible. I got emotional at one point and cried from embarrassment. And Meredith basically just grabbed both sides of my head and said, "Shut the hell up. You're my friend and I love you and I'm here for you. And you don't have to go through this alone." And I'll never be able to express how grateful I am for what you guys did yesterday. It was really, um, it's hard to find the words. I'm not just having people show up and expect absolutely nothing in return. It was life changing, and I love you and I appreciate you.
I want to thank you for allowing me to do the laundry because I thoroughly enjoy it. You know, I do. I actually love it. I think the best part was when we got back and I was sorting your stuff and showing you and asking you where to put things. You were like, "You know how to fold a fitted sheet?" And I was like, "Excuse me."
I was so impressed.
Excuse me, do I know how to fold a fitted sheet? No, I think it was my problem a lot of times is that I want to help, but I'm not exactly sure how to help. Right? You know, that situation where you're like, I want to help you, but what can I do? This was the perfect scenario for me, selfishly, because I knew exactly what I could do to help you.
Mm.
And then I felt like it was helpful. And I knew, like, this is my lane, man. This is what I can come and help you with. And I don't ever want to see you feel that way again, because you don't ever have to be embarrassed by, anything with us, because we love you inside and out. So there's nothing that could happen that I wouldn't come and wash your sheets, man. Like that's something I can do. So it was great. I wish that there was more time.
Yeah,
I
I
really
agree.
do. I wish there was more time, because I felt like as soon as we kind of completed some things, you had to go pick up your kids. We had the 5-hour drive,
Yeah,
which sucks,
yeah.
that we're so far away. But like, I would have loved to have been able to, come in and poke around and help you for the next week. Like, if I had that option to do so, like, I would be there every day harassing the shit out of you.
I would love it. I was telling some people in a live last night, like, it felt like, and it's the only thing I could compare it to, and I'm not trying to be offensive, but it felt like, have you ever watched those episodes of Hoarders where there's this person who's just got all this mental stuff going on, and these people come in and try to help and fix everything, and the person who lives there just has so much shame and guilt and, embarrassment, and like that's what it felt like. It's not easy for me to ask for help at all. And when you had originally brought it up on the podcast, I was like, yeah, okay, sure, I'll take your help. 50% thinking it was never going to come to fruition. Um, and I think because it was live on a podcast and you asked, I felt obligated to say yes, but usually I would have just said no. um, but yeah, it was one of those things where it gets so overwhelming to a point where you don't even know where to begin. And having somebody with fresh eyes and fresh hands and a fresh heart come in and be like, I got you. Even Dave yesterday, he was sorting my mail and I was just sitting there watching him with like my eyes glazed over. And he's like, "Why don't you go sit on the patio for 5 minutes while I do this?" And I like cocked my head to the side. And he's like, "That way you don't feel stressed or overwhelmed or nervous. Just go sit out there." And I was like, "Are you serious?" He's like, "Yeah." So I went out on the porch, and as soon as I sat down in the chair, like a breeze hit my face, and I realized it was the first time I've been outside in 4 days.
Mm.
And it was just such a beautiful moment. I was just so grateful for him and for you. And that's what life is about, man. Like, you can't do it alone. And I'm very fortunate to have people like you who are willing to come and do that for me.
No, that's the whole thing. Like, you shouldn't have to do it alone, and you don't have to do it alone. And so we will always show up. Dave is great at processes and, lists making and task, and figuring out like the order that things have to go in. I give him a lot of shit. I mean, literally 90% of my new tour is making fun of him, because there are things you can make fun of about Dave, but the there are things I can make fun of about Dave, but at the same time, he is so amazing when it comes to going in and taking care of things and getting them getting them in the proper order and the way they need to be done and taking care of shit. And I know that I give him a lot of shit, but he was great yesterday. And that's the thing. Like, I couldn't come and help you with that. Like, those are not things that I could come help you with, but like, I can definitely come and do your laundry and sort some shit and organize some shit. So I thought I was just really glad that you allowed us to come help. And it makes me feel better knowing that you feel better in that sense. So it was a good day.
It was a good day. And it's so funny because halfway through the week last week, you're like, hey, something came up. I might not be able to come. And my socially anxious heart jumped for joy.
Yeah, I knew it did.
I was like, oh, that's too bad. It's okay. Don't even worry about it. Da-da-da. Like, I would have been so okay with not having to step out of my comfort zone, but I would have woken up today to 10 garbage bags worth of laundry creeping out into the hallway. My no, like, my finances still in disarray, having no clue what's going on inside my bank account. Like, I would have been in the same position that I was in before. And I'm oh, man, it's just so crazy because nothing changes if nothing changes.
Right. And I think that the things that you just mentioned about being embarrassed about the situation that you were in, feeling the overwhelm and not knowing where to start, so you don't start anywhere, you just kind of sit and continue to build the overwhelm. All of these things are clearly the reason that people don't want to accept help.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew when we talked and you were like, it's no big deal, it's fine. I was like, no, it's not okay. I'm going to get this figured out. And I was lucky that I was able to find a place to stash Sophia. But I was like, I'll figure this out. Like, I'm not letting you off the hook there with that. But I know that that's mental illness. Like, that is at its core what mental illness is. And people want to categorize that as being lazy or, aloof to situations and things. And that's not what it is at all.
Right.
It is clearly, you needed help. And so we wanted to help. And that was the best way that we knew how. Dave did mention, though, next time we come, could you possibly have ice?
You're really pushing it. Walmart won't deliver ice. Okay. And I don't go to the grocery store, but I'll make a special trip for you. Yeah.
Yes. Well, you know what? We'll bring our own ice next time. It's fine. We know now not to buy warm sodas and show up because there won't be any ice. And that's okay. We've learned our lesson. But anyway, it was great seeing you. I hopefully we'll get to see each other again in a few weeks. And yes.
Also, you left 0 sodas here, and somebody had mentioned the possibility of leaving sodas here. So last night at dinner, I was so excited to go into my fridge and grab a soda that you left here.
Dave took them.
You guys manhandled all of them into your car when I wasn't looking. You straight up underarmed, you snuck them out.
I didn't know that he was taking them.
Dave
but
knew.
He did take them because if Dave gets his hands on some Coca-Cola, he'll tear it up. So he must have had another Coke.
That's all right. I've had enough Coke in my life. Anyway, thanks again for being a good friend. And I just by reading the comments and stuff, and feeling the support, like if it's ever something I could tell you didn't want to talk about it just now, like you weren't going to mention it out of respect for me, but I'm okay with you talking about it if you ever want to, like in a different setting. Like if you wanted to go live or mention it on a live, what you guys did or whatever, just in hopes of helping somebody, I wouldn't be upset, just so you know.
The only thing that makes me even want to talk about it is because I don't think people realize when somebody says to them, like, no, I don't really need the help. It's fine. Like, things are going okay. And you know that they're not, but you don't like try to peel back the curtain at all to like peek in.
Yeah.
And the thing is this is, I mean, you've been very honest about your mental health struggles and you are actively getting therapy and taking medication. So you're doing all the things you're supposed to be doing. Mm-hmm. But when a hard left turn happens and you're even doing all the things you're supposed to be doing, you're still going to have those depressive times and you will need help.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's important that you do have somebody who's a friend who's a bit of a hemorrhoid that says, you know what, I'm going to keep pushing and we're going to, come and see what's going on because, you do, I need help a lot. Everybody needs help. But I think, like you said, the embarrassment stops people from asking for help or to get the help. And I just don't want, I just wish that wasn't the way it was
Yeah.
because you always feel better after you get the help,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Like, inevitably.
Yep.
But
I laid on my daughter's carpet yesterday and I was like, I just love laying on your clean carpet. It was just, it sounds dumb, but it was like somebody hit the restart button. It was very cool.
we all need a restart. That's the whole thing. We all
Yeah.
need the next chapter. We all need to know what's going on next. And I'm just happy. It really does make my heart happy that I was able to come in some role and help with that because I'm not great at a lot of other things, but I can come in as a workhorse and help, do some laundry. I can sort, I can fold, I can do those things. So for me, I was honored that you allowed me in because I get it. That's heavy shit. But I'm, like no matter what, even if you don't ever tour with me again, I'm still your best friend. So I'm gonna just show up.
Oh, people are crying.
I think it's important when you find somebody that's this special in your life that you do continue to find ways to be supportive of one another, even though there's mileage between you or whatever. Like, yeah, let's talk about that a little bit. Somebody just brought up the video. And I don't want to give away what they said in the comment to the podcast listeners because you can't see this. But if maybe somebody didn't see the video, could you maybe talk about it just a little bit?
My video?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to. I made a video, Me versus Anxiety Part 7. This one was a little bit different because this wasn't a general anxiety situation. It was very specific to my life. So basically, there has been something going on in my personal life for a very long time. I've been kind of mysterious about it, not in a clickbaity way, but in a trying to respect my family and I's privacy while giving the people who've supported me kind of I need more coffee because my brain's not working. I've had a lot of people following my family for many years. And recently people will notice that one of my family members is not as present, if at all. And I needed a way to address that missing link that didn't feel like a sit down YouTube apology cry video, that didn't feel like a victim-y, give me attention way. And I could never figure it out. So I had the idea of doing it in a humorous way that answered a question without necessarily answering it. And I suppose that this is the first time I will say the actual sentence. I am divorced. Drew and I got a divorce. And I haven't really wanted to use that word because we've been trying to figure out how to let the kids know. I mean, we've been living apart for a long time. Oh, well, not a long time, but a few months. Like, we've been sharing custody. They're going back and forth. They know that something's different, but they don't understand because so far we've just explained it as we get along better this way. We're happier moms and dads when we have our own space and da da da. So we haven't used the D word because it feels so final. And they've been through so much loss this past year. They lost their grandpa and their aunt. So out of respect for them and out of respect for him, I've been trying not to make it a huge publicity giant thing. And I really would have been completely content going the rest of my life, never making any kind of statement. But it would have been physically impossible in this job that I have for me to just keep pretending like it never happened and ignoring the question. So now I've made a video. It was on my terms. It was exactly how I wanted to do it. To that way, if anybody asks in the future, other people in the comments could let them know they're not together anymore.
Yeah. And the video was epic. I felt like the end of the video, you got to go watch the video, because I cried at the end of the video, and then I went in and gave her a big hug after I watched it, because I wasn't on Facebook the day before, the day that she posted it, because we were on the road for that retirement party.
Mm-hmm.
And so I didn't even go on to Facebook in the afternoon at all, or the next morning, because then I got to your house. So when you were like, "What did you think of my video?" and I was like, I didn't see a video. Hold on, let me go into the other room and watch it, because it's weird when you watch somebody's video in front of them.
I'm like this with my my fists under my chin.
But it was so great, and it was, I thought, the perfect way that you would have explained it on your terms, which I
Thank
thought
you.
was great.
Yeah, and I had so many messages I wanted to convey, and I really didn't want to do a sit down 45-minute video about this situation, trying to explain things. So for me, it's very therapeutic. It's a form of art to be able to take something from my mind and use characters to bring it to life. And so I wanted people to know we're great. He lives a minute and a half down the street. We see each other every day. We're incredibly involved with each other's lives. We both just want the other person to be happy. We did everything that we could. I have been trying for a very, very, very long time to make things work.
Thank you.
But what it boils down to, I know people have different beliefs about these kinds of things and about divorce, but it is my opinion that life is unbelievably short. And do you want me to keep? It is my opinion that life is unbelievably short, and we only have one go around, and we only have one opportunity. It's not like we get to come back and start over and make different choices. So I decided that I was worthy of freedom. I was worthy of happiness. I was worthy of allowing my light to shine as bright as it wanted to.
Mm.
And I really wanted to be able to open my petals all the way
Oh.
and soak in the sun without feeling like that was wrong. And so I'm happy. I'm optimistic. I'm a little afraid, but I'm hopeful.
You should be.
I am.
You really should be, because you are amazing and you're kick-ass. And God, if your light shines, even when you think that it's about to diminish and go out, it shines so bright for others. You are a beacon. You are a lighthouse, and you have been for years. From the moment you started sharing your journey, you have been for millions of people. So when you said that, when you said, "I just want my light to be able to shine bright, I want freedom," I wanted to vomit, because it's it's such an integral part of who you are, and that can't ever diminish. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you have to be able to feel that in your soul. And if you feel like that's not happening, anybody who's listening to this, if you feel like that's not happening, that's not okay. Like, there's nothing that's okay about that, because you shouldn't be censored.
Yeah.
We get one go around. Don't censor that shit.
And also, in my opinion, which means nothing really in the grand scheme of things, but I do believe that there is a choice to be made. Well, let me just say this. There is a point we did so much behind the scenes to try. I mean, every moment of every day was a fight to get back to a place of being okay. And there was I was never satisfied. It was never enough. His best efforts were never enough for me. So he was fighting an uphill battle constantly. And I was left feeling like something was missing constantly. And so at one point he said to me, "You're trying to change the chemical makeup of my brain so that you can be happy. And it's not fair and impossible." And that was when I was like, damn, that's so true. Sometimes, down to your core, you're just not compatible. And trying to mold and shape and whip him into a place where he fits the idea of what makes me happy, when his Lego piece just doesn't snap onto that because he wasn't built that way, it's unfair. And so I don't deserve to settle for something that won't be what I need. And he doesn't deserve to feel like it's never good enough no matter what he does. It's not fair to him. It's not that he's a bad person. It's not that he's wrong. It's not that he isn't good enough. Compatibility wise, and what I need in order to be happy is just something that he is unable to provide. And I'm not angry at him for that. And it will be what someone else needs. It will be more than enough for what someone else needs. The chemical makeup of his brain will be perfect for somebody else, just not me.
I think that's brilliantly said. And I think that's why I talk about all the time, like when I am telling these jokes on stage about Dave, I always say, I said it through the last tour and I'll say it through this one: marriage is a choice. You make the choice every day. Little things pop up and happen throughout the course of your marriage that it's a choice. Do I want to continue down this path? And I think that a lot of times, the longer we're married, or the longer we remain unhappy, or the longer things happen that way, you feel like it isn't a choice maybe anymore. Like it's too far gone, or I'm too far in, or there's nothing I could do, or where would I go, or what would but it's always a choice. It's always, 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 always a choice.
Sometimes I'd love to talk about that a little bit, because I feel like I'm in a very blessed position where if I did make that choice to separate or whatever, I'm able to provide for myself and the kids. There's so many people out there who can't, who feel stuck.
Yes.
And, there's shelters and things like that. But then as a mom, I'm sure you're like debating, like, well, do I want my kids to be in a shelter, or do I want them to just stay here where they know normalcy? And I will settle so that they can have a good life. I will deal with the unhappiness so that they could have a home, and it's
100%. You just hit
so
the nail on the
tough.
head there. Yeah. Yeah. Cause you're right. There are many people who aren't in the position that can say, I can just start fresh, because what does that even look like? But you're right. I spoke out of turn there. I didn't mean it in that way, but you're 100% right that is a true story. So although it is a choice,
right, you were right about that.
If you don't have backup in any way, shape, or form, is it really a choice?
Right.
So you're right with that. Absolutely.
Yeah. And it wasn't wrong what you said, because it is a choice. And just because it is hard for people doesn't mean that they are stuck. So what you said wasn't wrong. It doesn't mean that they are stuck. It just means it's going to be much more challenging and a lot easier to give in to the place of settling when you don't have the financial means to make that change. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I think somebody just made a comment that was also very poignant. You were suited for each other at one point in your lives. You're not those people any longer.
Yeah.
Right? So it's not that it wasn't a good choice at the time. It's just that now it's different. And I think that that's a good way to see it as well.
Absolutely. And with my position, like my wants and desires and requirements for happiness at the time when him and I got together are so different
Mm-hmm.
than what my wants and desires and requirements for happiness are now. Back then, I was living in a halfway house, and so was he. And I knew him for all of 2 months when I found out I was pregnant. And then we were married 5 months after meeting each other. We didn't know each other as we stood across from each other at the altar. We just knew that we were excited and we were happy and we thought we loved each other. And maybe we did, maybe we didn't. But we were married for 9 years.
Mm-hmm.
Like we stuck it out. He stuck by me. He could have run full speed and he didn't. And it was wonderful. And, sometimes things happen, choices are made, and it comes down to a point of, I don't want to say too much,
Mm-hmm.
but for me and my family and my future and their future, this was the best decision for all of us to end up happy. Hopefully. I can't speak for the kids because I don't know statistics, but
No, they have two parents that love them,
mm-hmm.
and that's what they need to be happy and to live a fulfilled life. That's what they need. The parents don't need to live in the same house. The parents don't need to be there every morning when they wake up because it's that's not what they need. Kids are resilient, and
but they don't understand that. That's what's tough.
Yeah.
And Chloe expressed to me the other day, she's also whatever. She was tired, but she's like, I miss you and dad hanging out together at the same place. I don't want to go to separate houses and see you. I want to see you together. And I was like, we're going to make that happen. Thank you for expressing that to me. I'm really proud of you for putting into words what you want. And so I reached out to Drew and I'm like, we got to do something this weekend, all of us together as a family, like not as a family, but I think that them seeing us together in the same room, hanging out would be good. But then the other part of me is like, does this give them false hope? Does this make it confusing? I don't know. I don't know what to do. I just know that I want them to be happy and I'll do whatever it takes. I'll become best friends with if he ever gets a new girlfriend, we'll be besties. I'll move her into my house. Like, what do you need in order to be happy, children? Because we'll make it happen.
No, but I think that's the difference right there is that you're willing to go above and beyond. I don't think it necessarily gives false hope. I think it shows what the new normal is. And so you just, whatever it is that you want these kids to get from it, that's what you got to remember, like, we're our kids' first teachers.
Yeah.
Right. So you're teaching them that this is what the new normal is. And if you guys are going to do Sunday dinners because they want to see mom and dad in the same place, then make it a Sunday dinner thing. And that's what you do, or whatever it is, a Taco Tuesday. I don't care. But the point remains that it's something that you're setting forward as the example. And this is how we're going to do it. And I think that the fact that Chloe verbalized that.
Oh, yeah.
Stellar.
Yeah, she's so good. Very vocal.
But that's great because at her age, what is she, first grade?
Good question. She's going into second.
Yeah, just finished first grade.
What? How did that happen?
So I think it's great that she's in that spot and she's like, this is what I need. This is what I want. And to her credit, great.
Yeah. Yeah. Caden would live with his dad full time if he could. Caden's like, you mom, like his dad. Parts of the video that I made were true, like him being more fun. Because I'm afraid all the time. And as you all know, he doesn't give a shit about safety. He just wants fun. And I say it to his face. It's not like I'm talking crap, but like they go and they fish. And I have a phobia of water.
Yeah.
And so we won't be near a lake because I will have no chill because I will be staring at the shoreline waiting for an alligator. And then the whole time I'm plotting how I'm going to take this alligator down if it comes up. Like I've got it in my mind, the wrestling match. Anyway, so that's where Caden's at. He's like, can I go to dad's? If it gets lame here for 10 minutes, if he gets bored, he's like, can I go to dad's? I'm like, dude, what? Why? He's like, I want to go fishing. I want to play basketball. I want to do boy stuff. And I'm like, I could do boy stuff. What's up? So I've been playing catch, which which is nice because I never would have been the one to play catch before, and now I take on that role. And if
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, this is bonding. I like it. And I think it's cool that he gets quality time with the girls also because he has no choice.
Mm.
You know, he was very uncomfortable at first, like being like he doesn't know how to interact with girls because they're girly. He's a man's man.
Mm.
And so now he has no choice but to get on the floor and play Barbies because I'm not there to do it. Motherfucker.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's probably, I mean, what is statistically when they, speaking of statistics, when
So,
they mention things that are the most stressful events that people go through in their lives, right?
mhm.
Top 5, divorce is in the top 5. People fight and get stressed over money, divorce, death of a family member, moving is actually in the top 5, I believe. So
Mhm.
these are life-changing events. And you don't dwell. It's a season, right? So you will continue to move forward and grow and learn and change, and that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
So I'm happy for you. I don't think my heart could be happier for you
Thank you
to
so much.
start fresh.
Yes, girl. Yes. I somebody in the comments, this shouldn't be that funny, but said, um, where did it go? It just left. Just be prepared for the new partner to not necessarily want to be besties right away. And it made me laugh so hard because can you imagine like this girl and then I show up with like friendship bracelets and she's like, "What?" And I'm like, "I'm so happy to meet you. I'm Tiffany." And she's like, "I know who you are." And I'm like, "Awesome, awesome. Do you want to go get coffee together and hang out?" She's like, "No, this is really uncomfortable for me." And just like a little puppy, just it's so funny. It just makes me laugh really hard.
Yeah. Well, I
Thinking
hope
about
that it won't be that. But you do have a great relationship with his ex.
it. Yes,
And that
I
you
love
can
her.
tell that having that relationship with his ex has made things so much easier with your bonus daughter
Mm-hmm.
and with life in general. And so I want to hope and pray that that's the way it goes,
Yeah,
next time around.
I hope
Because
so because you know she's gonna be around the kids.
right,
But the only thing that, like, if she doesn't, we don't have to be best friends. That's fine. We don't have to be regular friends either. That's okay. But I'm just grateful that my kids are old enough to give me the inside scoop. Like, if she's being an a hole,
mm,
they're old enough to tell me. That was like a huge fear of mine. I like to prepare for every scenario. So when they were
right,
babies, and I was like, if he left and this bitch was like leaving the kids in the crib or like hitting them or something, they'd never be able to tell me. But now they will. And so that gives me peace. Like, okay, we don't have to be friends, but if you act out on my babies, I will give you a roundhouse kick to the jawbone.
yeah, and we all know how vocal Chloe is, so
Yeah,
we know she'll be the first to tattle.
mom, come get me. This bitch
Yeah.
has got a real attitude.
Yeah, no, I think that would be good. But I do, I am, as always, impressed by you.
Aw,
So I think it's great.
thank you so much. I appreciate it. We'll see. There's ebbs and flows,
Of
you
course.
know. There's going to be days where I'm watching TV and a Walgreens commercial makes me sob, and I look at baby pictures of the kids, and I'm wipe my tears with marriage photos. Who knows? But so far, I've been feeling pretty positive and optimistic and happy and excited and hopeful and all the good adjectives. I'm painting in the dining room.
I could tell you were painting with your laundry.
Okay.
You
That's
had one of your shirts. I was like, does she just wipe the brushes on this while she's painting? Because there's just friggin' paint streaks all up and down this. And I'm like, does she just use this as like the paint rag? Like she just
that's so
wipes it
funny.
across her breasts? I'm like, what is going on here? And I,
Yes.
I, I think you have to because I saw multiple shirts that way.
That's so funny.
Maybe a smock?
Yeah, I should. I should.
Maybe
I
you need a
should.
painter's smock. I don't
I
know.
should get a smock. But yeah. Anyway, so that's that. So everything's good. So those are all the statements I'm probably going to make for a long time. Maybe, I don't want it to be the main focus of my life. I don't want to be any kind of advocate for, I don't want to be a spokesperson for divorce or somebody that people come to get advice, because I don't have any. Maybe one day down the road, but yeah. Oh my gosh, Dave, all day yesterday, I just kept staring at the side of his face while he was doing like my finances. And I'm like, how can I convince him to let me hire him full time to fix my life? Like Iyanla, fix my life. And then I was like, what is the title of what he's doing? What would that person be called? Somebody who comes to your house and does all the grown-up things for you. What is that job? Because I need it. I need to hire that somebody.
But he told you he'd do that for you. And the thing is he can do it from here with you.
Yeah, but I'm talking about forever though. So I never have to look at another number.
So maybe instead of that way, he helps you for the next 6 to 12 months until you know how to do all of it. And it's baby steps to get to being the adult who does their finances.
Yeah, I would love that. I'll pay him.
Yeah, well, you don't pay him, but he will do it.
You're volunteering?
No, he told me on the way home. He told me on the way home he will sit with you every couple of days on the phone for 30, 45 minutes, whatever it takes to go in and do your stuff. My business manager, that's what he is. That's literally the name of our company, My Business Manager.
It's good.
So
I'd give you a Yelp review.
Oh, great. I don't know that we're on the Yelp, but okay. But yeah, no, that's absolutely something that he can do, because
somebody said you lost her at phone. They must have seen it. My eyes.
Oh, you need me to call him on the phone.
Yeah, I fell asleep as soon as you said it. Sit down with you multiple times on the phone. I was like,
okay, but it's
never gonna work. But when he's here yesterday, he was like, I was like a puppy. I kept standing up and like walking in circles, and he looked at me and he's like, just sit right there. Don't move for a minute. And I was like, okay. It was like exactly what I needed, because I didn't know what to do with my hands.
Yeah. And, like, what movie is that where he just holds his hands up?
It's Talladega Nights.
Yeah. I don't know what to do with my hands.
At one point, we were going to go to the bank. And of course, my wallet's gone. It left. It's gone. I'm searching the cracks of the couch. I'm sweating. I'm stressing. In the midst of all this, my wallet is missing. And so I was walking back and forth in the kitchen, like thinking of where it could be. And he's like, just relax. Come here. Just stand right here and breathe. That's all you have to do is breathe. It's like, all right, I can do that. And I was like, I don't know what this is called, but I need it. Like I want to be a robot and somebody else just control my every move, so I don't have to think. I have goosebumps. If I become a millionaire, that's what I'm doing. I'm hiring someone to move my arms for me.
Right. Well, and when you get there, then do that. But in the intermediate, he can do that for you and get you where you need to be, because he's good at it and he likes to do that. I mean, I don't get why he likes to do it, but he does. He loves it.
Caitlin's crying. Dave is amazing. He really is. He really is. He likes to pretend like he's a meanie head, but if he likes you, he'll do anything. He's like you in that way.
Yeah, a little bit.
You guys seem porcupine-y, but you're really like Twinkies, soft on the inside.
You Twinkie.
Dave, never mind. Somebody said my husband's company is called Husband for a Day.
I love that.
I love that too. I think that's cute. That's such a good idea.
Yeah, I do. That's a good
Hello?
idea.
They're awake. We got a good 44 minutes in. I don't know what's good. Yes, honey. Have I seen your hat? The cat. I have not seen the cat. I'm so sorry. The cat?
Wait a minute. Dave is trying to join our stream, I think.
Come down here. So's Chloe.
Hold on.
Oh my God. What?
What just happened?
David.
We can't hear you.
The cats? I'm coming. I'm sorry. Good morning. Can I have a hug? Later? Why can't we hear Dave?
I don't know. Is it? It's not working. Oh, there's Chloe. It was working. It says I
You want to go back to bed?
can't unmute. The mic isn't connected. It's saying your mic isn't connected.
I woke up on purpose.
You woke up on purpose? What are you doing?
No, you're not muted. I checked on my end. It says your mic isn't connected.
I'm sorry. I didn't crank this morning. Remember? Okay. We'll talk when the podcast is over, okay?
You guys can't see Chloe's face right now, but
It's very much like my face.
it is a carbon copy.
In the morning.
It is a carbon copy.
They're saying you look like me in the morning.
Good morning.
There, we got Dave now.
I heard you.
How we doing?
Good. We've got our first caller.
I have a long distance request dedication.
What do you think? This is the Delilah show?
I wanted to submit my application for life coach.
Oh,
For me?
yeah.
I'm in. I'm
For
down.
me? For both of us. Deal. Done. That was, I mean, I don't.
Convince your partner over there to take the coaching as well.
Excuse me.
I mean, he's a natural. We were trying to make a phone call yesterday, and he said, "Hello, Rebecca. Sarah Miller, please." And when they put us on hold, I was like, "That was so rude, Dave." And he's like, "What are you talking about?" And I'm like, "You didn't even say like, hi, sorry to bother you. I was wondering if Sarah Miller was
Her
available."
job is literally to answer the phone and transfer you to who you need. And I said hi. I said her name, and then I said I need so and so.
There was no cushion around the words. It was just
Hi. I wanted to call and let you know that I had some gas this morning, and then I thought, should I make this phone call? And then I was like, I don't want to bother anybody. That would be Tiffany. Anytime she needs to make a phone call.
Anyway, so I could use some boundaries coaching for sure.
You did great. You got on the phone on the second call and you said what you needed.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did. Maybe, or was it the third call? One of them you got.
I think the only thing I said was, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm dumb. Dave's going to talk for me.
No. Look, what we talked about, right? There are people like you that are empaths, and there are people like me that
socio.
while we do care about others, there's just things that need to get done, right?
Yeah.
And
are you sure you care about others? I just want
to.
Okay.
And what did I say when?
Uh-oh.
Jesus shut him down. He's like, we don't no blasphemy on this podcast.
What just happened?
Dave, your screen went black. I'm so curious what he was going to say.
Yeah, he needs to come back. That was too funny.
The timing of it. Hey, you're back. Let's just pretend like we never lost him.
But he still
looks really into it.
But he's still. Oh no.
Mm-hmm. Is that him?
Hello? Hi, Mom. Buddy, I got to call you back. I'm on the podcast.
I'm going to try to.
He's not here. He's in the car somewhere. What do you need?
This is normal. I'm just going to be here, guys. You have a phone call. You're a frozen popsicle. I'll just be here. This is fine. I'm like in a weird sandwich. I'm in a Masony sandwich. What's up?
Did we lose him again?
He's been gone.
Oh, hold on.
Someone tried calling me.
Oh, that was
Oh.
sweet.
But no, with that phone call, right? What did we say? What did I say? Because not everyone thinks about feelings the way I do. That
Mhm.
what I've learned is the more concise, the less words I use, the less trouble I get into, and the easier it is for everything, right?
No, that's not what you said. You said it so much better yesterday. You said the less words that I use, the easier I'm making it for them to understand what I'm asking for.
To not get caught up in emotion.
Yeah.
Just about the
Well, that was a
task.
separate thing you said.
Focus
You
on
said
the task.
you said two things that were profound. You said it was like in soccer, where if somebody made a bad play on the field, you'd be like, you're an effing idiot. But then afterwards, you'd be like, do you want to go grab a couple of beers? Because it's two separate things. You separated the emotion from the business.
Yeah.
And then you said by using less words, you're actually doing the listener a favor because you're giving them less to process, which made sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so you did great yesterday.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much. I really appreciate it. And I meant to text you back. It was really nice. I said a lot of really wonderful things about you earlier. So
I'm
anyone who didn't like you or
Amazoning
was on the
some-
fence,
I'm gonna Amazon some ice cube trays to your house.
you know what? I'm gonna put pee in them.
Ew.
right.
I'm gonna do that.
All right. You guys have fun. I'll talk to you later.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Oh my gosh.
The whole time he was frozen, was he talking?
I don't know what he was doing.
Because when he did come back, it was the middle of a sentence, as if nothing. There was no lapse. I felt like I was in a weird time warp.
Yeah, he I guess got a phone call and that's what interrupted it. And it was my kid calling him.
Oh.
Because then my kid called me and asked to be picked up. So I'm sending my other kid to go pick him up.
Oh, Chloe just asked me if she could go to camp, dude. I'm like, camp started 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
And I kept you home because you're sassy. And not because of her sassy attitude. I just felt like she needed a break. I could tell by her
Sleep.
temperance that she's just worn out, dude.
Yeah, they do. I think they definitely get overtired.
Yeah. And I'm like, damn, I remember summers we didn't do nothing.
Yeah.
We just laid around and watched Boy Meets World.
Yeah.
But anyway.
All right. Well, I feel like this episode is meaty. There's a lot of meat here. If you're looking for for good portion sizes, I don't know what that means.
Yeah, it would. The first one was fine.
Meaty.
Yeah.
Twinkies.
No.
Full
I'm
course.
hungry.
5-course meal. No.
Yeah, this was a big episode. It was a big episode. It feels good to have it out in the open. Now I can move on with my life and just carry on as normal. And I'm happy about that.
Yeah. So we will do this again next week.
Oh, somebody said this episode will go down in Tioli history as one of the best ever. This was very therapeutic. Somebody else added to your weirdness and said really big bites in this one.
Big bites.
Like more meat analogies.
I know. I feel like you always need another meat analogy. Okay.
Join us next week for another episode of Take It
or Leave It, an advice-ish podcast hosted by two struggling moms who have no idea what they're doing. And we love meat.
We love you.
We love you.
So
we'll see you guys next time.
Okay, bye.
Bye, guys.
We love